Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Legacy United Titan class Tidal Wave from the Armada universe. You can see the box because I'm not going to put them both in the same frame because it's massive. You can see the box here, which has a nice bit of artwork, you know, Tidal Wave and is, well, in the water, blasting things, and there's a little bunch of little robots all around. Well, I guess normal sized robots all around trying to shoot him and everything. You got Legacy United Transformers, and hey look, it's 3 different vehicles in Tidal Wave's name, and Takar, Tomy, Hasbro, and 15 plus, by the way, on this one, and so on and so forth. And on the top, you have Legacy United right there. On the side here, you have, hey, look, there's Galvatron, and also in the water, on the rocks, I guess, and more water. On this side, you have, hey, look, the line-wide artwork, you know, zoom in close up there in 40th anniversary. Yeah, it's hard to film these sort of things. And yeah, on the bottom, you have pretty much, hey, look, under the water, including here's Tidal Wave's feet and legs, and some manufacturing details of what's included. And on the back, of course, you have a whole bunch of product shots and whatnot, including, hey, look, he's got some bits and bobs, and yeah, he's got multiple modes in the Dark Fleet and blah. So that's the box. Inside the box, you do have the instructions, which are pretty comprehensive for the most part. There's a couple things which it's weird about. There's particularly a couple little small steps it doesn't really relay super well. So that's that. Now, when you get it out of the box, you're going to notice that it's in pieces, which, you know, not a huge thing. A couple things to bring up before I do this. Yeah, these parts right here, you have to also attach these. There's these little bits right here. You have to attach these. You just peg right on. These peg on. You have to peg these two, well, not these two cannon things right here on. These ones right here, you have to peg those on as well. And for these ones, they are mirrored. They're not all the same. If you can see, there's this little like bump right here on each of them. It's mirrored, and the way to tell is on each of these there's a little right there, like says L, and that one says L as well. Yeah, inside here there's a little. I'm not sure how well you can see it, but there is a little L carved in there, and there's an R on this side. So yeah, there's R's on this side, L's on this side. It's pretty straightforward. So once you make sure to line those up, and you should be able to be good to go. And then there's also a little peg hole right there, a little peg, and you just kind of line those up, and they kind of soft locks it into place. It's not like super tight, so you can still, like, you know, lift it up a bit and spin it around. But yeah, soft locks into place for the robot mode, so they're in the correct position, or at least it's supposed to. Doesn't always cooperate though. So yeah, that's just something to be aware of when you assemble this guy. Just, you know, be all that stuff. But yeah, so beyond that, to assemble from there, you take this piece right here and you take this flap, bring it up and fold that in like so. And then you take this, right, move it out of the way so you can open this up, extend the leg out like that, close that back up, take the foot here and get whatever crap that is. Move the, you know, open up the toe and heel. That's one part. Same thing on this side. Untab this, bring it up, fold that away, get this out of the way so you can open this up, extend the thigh out, close that back up, open the foot, toe and heel, look like that, knock that off. Yeah. And then right here, there's little notches. There's little notches right here, just that'll slide right on like so and like so. Now you got that all squared away. Bring this up. Bring that up. And then last bit here is to, yeah, right here, take these and extend these parts out like that. And then pop them in like that. And same thing. Bring that out. And then put it in right there, like that, and there you go. You've assembled Tidal Wave into the robot mode, and there you go. It does not want to stay in place for some reason. There we go. Yeah, that's Tidal Wave's robot mode. Easy initial assembly is pretty simple because, you know, a lot of it's the same thing you're going to have to do when you're transforming it anyway. Getting in a bit close. You can see detailing. He's very tall, so I'm going to have to deal with that. But yeah, big old chin. You can see, yeah, chin is huge. He's got a, you know, kind of nice little bit of, I guess, purplish color right there on his head crest. He's got silver face. Also, I got the purples and grays going all the way down. Bits of yellow as well. Decepticon symbol right there. Light gray for the arms. The dark gray for the main torso and everything. And the purple and the more grays. And bits of orange down here. And a little Decepticon there's the symbol on the foot. And getting in the backside real quick. Yeah. He's pretty solid there. There's actually little fans, little detail in there. That's pretty neat. There's little bits of detailing here on the backside as well, including, that thing in the back right there. There's a miniature. It looks like a miniature version of him. We'll get into that in a little bit. But going down is pretty much the same sort of thing. Purples and grays. Maybe a bit of spots of yellow. So there you go. So that's Tidal Wave close up. Now. Yeah, so, it's Tidal Wave close up. He's pretty cool looking. The thing is, he's a bit different from the original version in the sense that, the US release, or the Hasbro release anyway, because they changed the colors to be more anime accurate for this release, and that also matches the Japanese toy, because apparently at the time they're like, we have too many purple enemies, we need to fix that. So they did, and but then also they added a lot more green on the original. But now they went back to the original purple, and some people are still upset because they want the original toy deco. So hey, I don't know. Anyway, I believe these big old cannons right here are, yes, they are. They are blast effect compatible. You can see that bloom, so you can have a little. So you can do that. You have those pointing out and pointing those out and everything, and there you go on that front. Overall, he's pretty solid in this mode. Really not a whole lot else to say at this point. Looks great. The other thing is, one thing I say, the instructions don't really make it clear about how to orient the thumbs because the nature of things. That can be a little frustrating to figure out the first few times. You're like, oh, okay, I get it now. Because it's like, why is the fist not working? It's like, oh, that's why, because it's orientation's weird. But let me think. Yeah. So articulation, I guess, to getting into that head is just on a swivel. So you got left and right there. Yeah, shoulders. Ratchet going around. You do have a different kind of ratchet going out. You got that far out. Yeah, so they got that out. And also, if you bring it out a little bit, you actually do have a little bit of butterfly joint thanks to how that works. So you can have a little bit of butterfly joint there. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. You do have a swivel right here. That is friction. There's a swivel. Ratchet elbow, you got that much range on that. That's pretty nice. Very loud too. Fingers. You do have, that wasn't supposed to open. If you have the fingers oriented like this, you do have kind of, two knuckles. All the fingers are fused together, but you do have a knuckle there and you have a knuckle there. The thumb here can rotate as well and fold in. And you have this rotation as well if you want. There's a little hidden little blaster cannon, which also is blast effect compatible because it's the same as these essentially. So that's the arms. If the waist here, if you move this up and move this up, you do have waist articulation, also very loud. As for hips, you do have about that far forward, and only because all the waist gets in the way a bit. Backwards, you do have a lot backwards. Right there. Outward, you do have a lot outwards as well. You do have a ratcheted thigh swivel. You can go down a little bit. Yeah, again, the ratcheted thigh swivel. And you got the knees, which is a point of a fun little thing going on there. But you have knees. You got 90 degrees of bend there. And you got ankle tilts. Also clicky, you can see it goes that far. And because of how it transforms, you do have downward on the heel and on the toe. And there you go. Now, the knee, the knee is a bit of a problem. So if you aren't aware at this point, which I suspect you are, considering how long it's been, considering how long it took me to review this darn thing, the knee has a problem. Namely, it seems like for most of the copies, at least so far, the ratchet is too strong for the plastic. The way it's designed, it basically shears away. There's a little, there's the ratchet wheel, and then one side, it's just a little tiny thing and just kind of tabs. It's just kind of slots in these really shallow tabs, like really shallow. I'm talking about like that shallow. And what happens is the spring and the between the spring and everything and the knee, it tends to shear the tabs off, and then you have a very loose joint suddenly because the ratchet stopped working because it ripped itself apart, which kind of sucks. So move it at first, when you first get it, move it a couple times. If it starts feeling like really like it's giving you a lot of resistance, stop moving it. And what you do is it's pretty straightforward fix. What you want to do is come down here and you open this up and you remove these 4 screws very carefully. It's spring loaded, and then you let it come out apart. There's a bunch of the ratchet pieces here on the ratchet teeth inside this. Make sure you don't lose everything, because there's a little wheel right here as well that they'll come off. So you gotta make sure that don't lose that, and also put it together properly. When it comes apart on the ratchet teeth themselves, lubricate it. I use silicone oil, the kind I've used before. It's often real easy to use. I just put 4 drops in a circle around it, just one, just 1, 2, 3, 4 drops, and then I kind of pushed it together and just kind of rotated it a bit. Then I put it back together, and now my knees are fine. I have no problems. They still work like they're supposed to, but I'm not afraid of it, destroying itself. So just be aware of that. That is a genuine problem, but it's fixable. It's only 4 screws per leg, and you just do the same thing on each side, and it just, a couple drops of silicone oil, and it should be good. Yeah, and you shouldn't have to fix it yourself, but some people have talked about spring cutting. You just, as far as I can tell, you don't have to cut the springs. As long as you lubricate the ratchets, it should be fine. But I very much try lubricating the ratchets first before cutting the springs, because cutting the springs can have the side effect of, oh, cool, now the ratchet barely works. As I discovered with my Triptychon when I did that way back when. So there you go on that front. That's the articulation. So some comparisons real quick, hopefully. I can do this right. This is going to be interesting, to say the least. See if I'm going to have to... Yeah, okay, I think I got this. Okay. First of all, just for the sake of it, here's the last Titan that was released. Here's the Nemesis. You can see she's a bit taller by actually a significant margin. That's a good head taller, just head to head. And people thought for sure she was going to be, because of her chest design, she was going to be remolded in the Tidal Wave. But that seems silly now, doesn't it? Actually seemed silly at the time, but it seems even more silly now. Here's Commander Class Armada Optimus, just because, why not? On that, just to give you an idea there. Because this is roughly how Tidal Wave would have been if he was a Commander Class, I guess. Probably somewhere in that range. Very different size. And of course, here he is with Armada Megatron. I'm not getting Galvatron, so there you go. Yeah, so there's that. But of course, there was one thing that the original toys did that they kind of replicate here, which is, hey, look, there are pieces to, you can take Armada or Tidal Wave apart and attach them to Megatron. Unfortunately, well, Megatron kind of seems a bit small now, doesn't he, comparatively? So, they did do some, I guess, cheating. You saw that small version. Yeah, you need those. So first thing is, yeah, so first thing, back here, take this out. It's just 2 tabs, so just pull it out. Pretty straightforward, that. Take that out right there. That's one thing. Next thing is down here at the hands. What you do here is this piece right here. Best way I found to do it, I'm a little worried possibly over longevity, which is just take this and just pull. It's kind of a clip tab thing right there. You just pull that out. And then right here to actually keep, oh no, he's got no hand. What you do here is you rotate this around like this. And now these are his fingers and this is his thumb. So that's actually kind of clever that they managed to do that. Yeah, same thing on this side again. Take this, just pull it out like that. And then rotate that around, and there the guy's fingers and thumb. So there's that. And then down here, take this thing, open that up, and then just pull this piece back right there. And again, take that and pull it out and pull that back. And then also down here, you'll open this up right here and take this piece out right here. Take that out and close that back up. And take this out. And close it back up. And there you go. So there's that. And to attach it to Megatron, well, first, take these feet pieces and they'll just peg into the bottom of the feet. Just like this, like that. And like that. That's one thing. Next thing you want to do is actually take this and, do that thing, which, extend the waist and fold this down, bring the part back, I'll fold this down and rotate this around like that. And then collapse it back up and then don't pull the turret off. Do all that. Do all that stuff right there. And then you take these pieces right here. What you do with these, you want to bring these out like that. And take these pieces right here. There's a little piece right here. You bring these out like so. And like so. And you peg them together like this. Then right here, what you do is you take these pegs right here and you fold these out like that. And there, you notice they're asymmetrical. Asymmetrical, that's the word. My brain just... Okay, take those and... Also interesting, you gotta take this piece and fold that out. Right there. And down here, see, there's these peg holes are asymmetrical too, and then you just, line it up with these 3 pegs and just plug it in. So the pegs and peg holes, you just line it up and plug it in. Oop. Oop. And of course, you're supposed to just line it up and plug it in, but it has to be difficult. So I think maybe that's this one. It's not so much, but yeah, it's interesting. There's an extra peg there. I'm wondering because that doesn't actually line up. I almost forgot. Yeah, that's for something else. I'm not sure what it's for. I've never actually. Eventually, you get that all dealt with, and then this piece right here. You just take the purple pieces here, and they'll just fold around. And there's little tabs here which go in these little slots. So like that, and like that. Like that, like so, and there's that peg hole there. You just bring that out, and then this goes on right here at this peg hole. At least the default. You can do whatever you want, really, but that's how they want you to do it. So we're just going to do it like that. And these pieces, what you do here is you bring this up and around, like here. This will fold this up like this, and like that. And same thing on the side, you fold it up like so. And like that. And then you take these pieces right here and you spin those around like that. And same thing here. Like that, spin that around, close it up. And then these come together like this. Tap peg together. You bring this peg out, and this just goes onto the arm right here. Like that. Oh, his foot came off. That's interesting. No wonder. I was like, what's going on? So yeah, that's I don't remember what it's called now, but that's what you do. To combine with Megatron. It's actually surprisingly solid over all things considered. I was actually worried about that. I was worried about some of that stuff. I was worried about this stuff not kind of being really loose and not working right, but it works just fine. Seemingly. Of course works with the Galvatron, which again I'm not getting, but it works with the Galvatron. Also, the color scheme might work better with the Galvatron, but yeah, there you go. It all works with that. So I'm going to go ahead and take this all off Megatron. Take these all off of him and continue on because there's more to this stuff too. Take this all off. And there we go. I'll just put Megatron off to the side, and there we go. So, next thing I guess would be the base mode. You can go ahead and separate these for now because put those back in. We're gonna deal with those later, and also these guys separate those. And again, putting that all off to the side for now because we're gonna deal with that later. So because we're gonna deal with Tidal Wave. So, to get into the base mode, first thing first is straighten those out. Straighten that arm out right there. And rotate here at the elbow 180 degrees. Just rotate it around like that. And then take at the shoulder, just point it straight up like that. And same thing over here. Straighten that out. Rotate at the elbow 90 degrees, and then rotate it up like that. And also take the head here and rotate it 180 like that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and lie him down because this will make this next part a little bit easier. A little bit. Also, since I'm around here, just take these heels and collapse that all up. Just collapse these up, and now you can just lie them down real easily. So I can just go ahead and do this. Now, take the elbows here and just bend them 90 degrees like that. Like that. Take the chest plate here, and you want to untab that. Just lift it up. It's on a little armature right there. You rotate that around 180 degrees, like so. Make sure it's straight up like there. And this part right here, there's a peg right here. See that? That pegs in the back of the head. Right there. So you just make sure to bring that down, and that will peg right in. Supposed to. That pegs in right there. That's part of it done. Now, here at the hips, what you want to do is just bring them out 90 degrees, and then right here there's a joint. Use that joint right there and click into place, and same thing on this side. Bring it out 90 degrees and then click into place. Go ahead and take these things and bring them down like that. And like that. Now, these bits, what you want to do is you want to pull them off the thing right there and just kind of peg them in right here. And right there. And then these two, pull that off. Peg it in right here. Right there. And pull that one off and then peg it in right there. Now, from here, let's see, which one do I want to do next? Okay, this one right here, this piece right here, make sure this the one with the little bridge on it and the little peg right here. This actually pegs. Of course, I can't do it like that. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I can show it like that. Down here, this peg hole right here, you want to peg it in right there, like so. I'm only lifting up just to show you, but yeah. You just peg it in right there, and it kind of sits right there. Like so, you can see that. It just sits right there. This one, you bring the peg all the way down, and this pegs in right here. So you're going to rotate the hand around like that. This will peg in right there. Yeah, that. If I can line up, there we go. And then also rotate this hand around. I almost forgot about that. Like that. These pieces right here, you want to take this piece and fold that up and make sure these peg holes are still out. And they'll peg in right here. It's like here. If the peg doesn't fold away on you. I'll peg in right there. The other one, of course, make sure you fold it in like that, and then this peg will go in right there. Like so, like that. And you take this piece right here. Fold this back away like this was, like this. Like that. And fold it away. And then there's a peg hole right here, which goes in right there. Oh, of course, you don't do that. Yeah, you fold this peg away, and then you peg this in right here like that. And that's pretty much it. That's the base mode as a whole. You can see it's interesting, to say the least. These pieces you don't really do anything with. You can actually put them back away if you want. But yeah, you can put them away if you want, or kind of just, kind of peg them in wherever. If you can find a spare peg hole, just peg them in. Yeah, they can just kind of chill out right here, I believe. I don't think they show you anything. I don't think they show them anywhere in the instructions. They do not. Make sure of that. But yeah, that's the base mode. It's something. It's a base mode. It looks like a robot lying down, but you know, they added in the base mode. There's extra engineering specifically for it, but after this review, I'm never ever putting in this mode ever again because, whatever. So, beyond this, so getting him into, we'll transform again to, I guess, one of the vehicle modes, three of the vehicle modes. Sure, let's go 3 of the vehicle modes. Actually, kind of 6 of the vehicle modes technically, because I'm going to start off with the small things. Okay, I'm going to pull the small things off again. I'm going to pull those all off. Pull that off. Pull that off. And then pull this thing off. Yeah. And for now, I'll just put this kind of off to the side a little bit. Just get that out of the way for now. Because we're going to focus on these guys. And yeah, these transform pretty straightforward. Again, tab this guy together. Fold this peg away. And here you go. There's a carrier. This, of course, you just take this and rotate this back around. And I'll tab that back in just like before with the Megatron combination. There you go. That's whatever that is supposed to be. And these guys, you just take these and just tab them together like this, and then bring these out like so, and you take the foot pieces and they'll just peg on right there like that, and like that, and there you go. There's the I guess miniature dark. Oh yeah, also take these pegs and fold those away, and then there you go. There's the miniature Dark Fleet. It sure is something. It's kind of cute in a way, but yeah, by the way, these can't combine. Just in case you're wondering, no, they cannot combine into the larger ship. So sorry about that if you were really hoping for that. They can't combine in the larger ship. They can't become a tidal wave, which is interesting because these still open. Like, you know, those could be feet. So I don't know what that's about, because it's like, it feels like almost because it's considering this and everything, it makes me wonder if those are left over from like a possibly an older iteration, which these did like combined to a smaller tidal wave or something, but I don't know, I'm just speculating at that point. But regardless, those open, but they don't do anything. So there you go. So I'm gonna go ahead and transform the big guy now, which does require these guys to be split up, and I'm gonna go ahead and put these back into where they're supposed to go, and I'll just do that real quick, and we'll get to the proper transformation for the big one. Okay, so to transform it into the larger fleet things, first you get these well, after you got all the small ones put back where they are supposed to go, you had to take these turrets and put them back where they were in the first place. You put them all back. You know, just put them all back, because otherwise they'll be in your way. So, you know, put those all back. Like that. And right there. And like that. So first thing is take these bits and straighten out the legs, and then just, well, slide those off right there like that. Straighten this out and then slide that off like that. And then with these bits, right, what you want to do here is fold this away, untab this, untab that, and then open this up like that. Rotate the thigh piece right back in, close that up, tab this back in, close that up right there, and there you go. And the same thing on this side, open that up, untab this part right here, untab that, close that up, tab that back in right there. Then take these pieces, and they'll see there's a tab and a socket, I guess, these things right here. Let's tab these together. Now the thing is, this thing doesn't tab in super securely. It doesn't take much to pull it back apart, which is a little unfortunate. It doesn't take much to tear it apart, so just be mindful of that. But that's one vehicle done. Then right here, what you want to do is straighten that out, unplug these right there, and unplug that like that. Take this, close that up right here. Take this and rotate this around so the purple stripes line up like that. Make sure it's just kind of sitting like that. And same thing on this side. Rotate that down. Rotate it so the purple stripes are lining up like so. And then, hey, look, there's clips and stuff. You can clip this together and tab it together. Much more secure than the other one, by the way. Then right here, you want to take this piece and fold that up. And right here, take the bridge here and unfold this. Be a little tricky to get your finger in there, at least for me. Unfold this and it'll click into place. And yeah, it's a carrier. I guess you can fold that up or you can leave it down, whatever you want to do there. But yeah, there's the carrier. And let me put this on this side. And for this piece, what you want to do is unpeg this, the chest piece from right here. We'll bring it up like that. Rotate the head back around like this. And then you want to untab these from the side and bring them around like that. And like so. Just untab this and this will be brought around like this. Make sure it's straightened out like that. Take the legs here. And take the hips and bring them the rest of the way up like that. And like that. And then you just bring this down. This will, you see there's all these tabs here. Bring this down and this will tab in over top of everything. And there's the third piece. And at that point, you are done. You have the Dark Fleet. I mean, yeah, 3 different guys. A carrier, I guess, hovercraft, and I don't know what that is. Stealth boat? I don't know what it is exactly. I don't remember what again, Armada is kind of weird. I don't know what anything is. Don't know nothing about nothing. Anyway, yeah, as a whole, you know, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, you can kind of see obvious things like, hey, look, there's his head just kind of chilling out right there. But, you know, it's not too bad. I mean, it is mostly covered, but, you know, it's mostly covered, but you can kind of see it kind of peeking out from under there. I mean, you can, I think you can turn around, but I'm not sure if that actually works. But yeah, you can see it's pretty much just, you know, kind of a boat with weird proportions, some extra bits kind of, you know, attached to it, which, you know, not the end of the world, really. I mean, it's, you know, it's kind of a weirdly thick carrier and all that stuff. And yeah, the only problem with this, of course, again, is these do not tab together. I think I saw someone kind of do something to kind of push these closer together, because the problem is these don't quite latch, at least the front one doesn't. They don't quite latch all the way, which means this thing comes apart really, really easily, unfortunately. So you have to kind of hold it with both hands as it is. But yeah, they don't tab together. I'm not sure what happened there, but yeah, something weird happened. So they don't quite tab together nicely, and it's a little annoying. Yeah, but the coolest thing is they all have wheels. You can see little tiny wheels on all of them, so they can all roll. At least they would be if they, I think the problem is some of the wheels have a little bit of too much friction, so this one rolls all right. This one, not so much. This one definitely is just sliding. You can see this, like, there's so much friction. Oh yeah, this is supposed to tab in. Doesn't tab in super well, but it's supposed to tab in. Yeah, that's got way too much friction. These ones aren't too bad, but yeah. So that's not rolling super well. These, well, I think they would roll all right if it wasn't for the fact that it wants to split itself apart, which is a little frustrating. Again, there might be easy fixes down the road, but as it stands, the problem is the clips simply don't stick out enough. The clips right there don't stick out enough for it to actually properly tab together, but it does roll pretty all right if you hold it together like that. So that's that's where it's actually getting worse as I sit here. Yeah, so wow, that's not staying together at all now. Stay. Yeah, that's the Dark Fleet, at least the large one. Some comparisons again. Let's see if I can get this in the shot at all. Titans are always a fun time on this channel. Here's the Nemesis again. You can see quite a bit larger than the 3 of them. By a lot. Trying to do this, but you can see, you know, quite a bit larger. Hopefully that came through. And again, because as I kind of alluded to, there was one point there was a debate about whether or not Tidal Wave should be a Commander or a Titan. Here's a Commander class Armada Optimist, just giving you an idea how big they would be if it was, you know, Commander class, which is quite a bit smaller. I mean, this guy by himself is about the same size as just one of these boats. So there's that. And finally, here they are with Megatron in tank mode, Armada Megatron. Which they are a bit bigger than him, but that makes sense. I'm guessing, you know, if they start actually producing a lot more of the, I guess, mini cons or stuff, or if you can use your old Siege or I guess your Earthrise and whatnot, Siege and Earthrise Micromasters as stand-ins, but Micromasters and stuff can just kind of go on here and all that stuff if you want. But of course, there is one last mode to go talk about, which is the combined. I'm not sure what you call it. What was it? I don't know I can't remember what it's called, but I just call it the big boat. And yeah, for that, what you do is this part right here, you can bring that out right here and take this. What you want to do here is lift this up right here. If you don't, you're going to accidentally do that. Because you see, there's a stress mark. That's from me just kind of, at one point, I just kind of forgot to do stuff properly. Like, yeah, when I was transforming this, because these tabs right here actually tab in right here. And Robot Mode, I totally forgot about it and just kind of yanked and yeah, caused some stress. So remember that. But anyway, bring these out a bit like this. See, the head crest here will go into the back. There's a slot in the back here. You just want to make sure to bring these out a bit so this will slot in right there. And then there's these things right here. These little clip pieces right here will go into these clips right here. These tabs will go in these clips if it's all lined up properly. Which can be a bit of a pain. Yeah, make sure it's all the way out. And then if you get tabbed in on one side, it's usually a little easier to get the other side tabbed in too. There we go. That's one side done. And then tab it in on this side. Also, these pegs will kind of go in these little slots right here. These pegs right here. And there we go. Oop. Yeah, those parts, I just kind of forgot to mention that. Yeah, these parts come off. I don't know why, but they come off. So if you ever need a couple of those off for whatever reason, you can pull those parts off, I guess. But yeah. So anyway, that's one thing. Make sure it's all snug, and then you can bring this back down. Bring this part back down, like that. There's that part. So, from there, go ahead and take this part and split it apart if it hasn't already. This little thing right here, what you do is you pull this out. You pull this out. And then, showing one side at a time, there's this little notch right here, which you want to line up with this kind of right here, this bit right here. And on top of that, this right here will clip in right here, and there's this part right here will kind of go over that tab, and hopefully it all goes nicely. Yeah, just kind of get that in the notch, and then it's kind of rotate it in. Make sure that's all the way down so it actually clips in properly. And push it in like that. Also, this part came out a little bit for a second, but then you want to take this wing bit and just bring it down like that. And same thing on this side. Just kind of line it all up and clip it in. And yeah, there's this peg right here, which will go into a peg hole as well. Almost forgot. And it's not going to click or anything, but it's actually pretty secure once it's, you know, in place. And of course, yeah, take this wing piece and bring it out. Make sure that doesn't come out too. Yeah, well, yeah, I was forgetting you can just rotate these turrets as well so that everything's facing forward. And there you go. That's the full-size boat thing, which barely fits in my camera view. But yeah, there's the full-size boat as a whole. And yeah, I really like this mode, actually. I really like this. Is pretty cool to get here. I believe the original toy could actually get to this mode without separating, but this one can't because of how it transforms. So that's a bit of a, like, say, the legs do separate down here in such a way that it can't stay in one piece and transform. You do have to do the parts forming thing, which some people are not going to like, but you know, I don't really mind personally, but hey, because I get it personally. I get the whole idea behind it. Yeah, there's the big old boat. It looks great. It can, of course, there are the wheels, so it can still roll. And it looks good from most angles. You got the turrets and everything. You got the big old carrier part. You got these bits. Only thing is back here you do have, you know, a lot of just kind of joints exposed. But it's not too bad, honestly. And just looks very menacing. You got the, you know, central bridge there. And you got, like, these bridges and that bridge and that bridge. Yeah, it's just menacing. It just looks menacing as a whole. And it just looks really cool. I'm just getting it into frame, though, is a pain in the butt. So yeah, doing a comparison, oh boy, that's going to be fun. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, here's the Nemesis. Hopefully that's, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that kind of works. It gives you an idea just how big it is. Yeah, the two of them are roughly, in alt mode anyway, are roughly comparable in size, although I feel like this is a bit thicker in overall versus this, but in length, they're pretty much the same length overall, but this thing is just kind of a bit bulkier in general. And again, just here's Armada Optimus, or Legacy Armada Optimus. Again, to give you an idea there, how much smaller this would have been. Much, much smaller. And finally, here is Armada Megatron. Legacy Armada Megatron. It's quite a bit smaller. Almost fits on the deck of the carrier. Almost. Not quite, but still. Yeah, so I guess that's it. After all that. That's the review as a whole. How do I talk about this? So Armada Tidal Wave here is an interesting kind of mixed bag of things. I generally like how it looks. It's got pretty good posability, all things considered. I mean, Titan class stuff can be a little hampered in weird ways, but this guy's actually got, you know, quite a bit of posability, including even some degree of butterfly joint, which is unusual for a Titan class. I don't think I've ever seen it on Titan class before, so that's one thing. The transformation, he's got that extra base mode, which... whatever. The transformation is actually pretty straightforward and simple for the most part. You do have to, you know, for the different ship modes and stuff, you do have to separate it. The base mode, you pretty much don't actually have to separate anything for the base mode, but you do have to, well, except for the little pieces, but that's not a huge problem. But yeah, for the other, the ship modes as a whole, you do have to do, you know, take it apart and reassemble it. But I personally don't find that to be a big issue, but other people do. The other thing is, yeah, some people are kind of upset that he wound up being a Titan class, but at this point, honestly, considering how big he'd have to be in Commander class, it was one of those weird things. Like, he might have worked, but it might have been weird for... It would have been a weird place for, like, the Megatron. The pieces would have been too big, and it just would have been kind of odd. So this kind of weird solution of making him Titan class, but having the smaller pieces for Megatron, and also you can have a smaller Dark Fleet if you want. Kind of a nice little bonus. The big thing also is the knees. The knees have a tendency to tear themselves apart unless you do some preemptive maintenance, which I had to do. It's been working so far. I haven't had any issues since I did that, so that seems to do the trick. Some parts, like on again, this part of the ship, the hovercraft bit, they do not like to clip together very well, and I'm trying to figure out how to fix that. It looks like I might have to like find a way to push the clips further out in some way. I'm not sure if that's possible. Someone like ran a pin through that, like pushed them out and then ran a pin through it, which I guess works, but I would prefer the less destructive way if possible. I'll see if that's a thing or not. And then there's the other thing, which of course is the price. It's Titan class, which means just like before, it's $200. Which this other thing about this guy is he is quite a bit smaller than the other days. I showed, you know, the Nemesis. He's a full head shorter than the Nemesis, which was also $200. I felt that was mostly kind of worth it, but full head shorter and everything. He's kind of smaller, and he is the smallest Titan class we've gotten in quite a while. I think he's the same height as like the old Power of the Primes, Predaking and whatnot, which is significantly smaller than every other Titan class. So, and because he's now at the new expensive $200 price point, it's kind of like, whoa, you know. And the funny thing is for me personally, because part of the reason I mentioned this, but the reason why it took me so long to review this is because I waited for Amazon to get in stock, who they took a while to get it in stock in late July. And the reason I waited was because I had a gift card for Amazon, which brought the price down for me personally to about $130 because of the gift card I had. And then on top of that, because it's other reason it took me so long to review it, because I had a whole bunch of stuff going on in my life, which just interfered with any sort of review. So it just took a while. But so for me, the price shock for me, I paid $130, and that gift card, since I got it for free, you know, I didn't really feel that. So for me, paying $130 is no problem for this. This guy is great at $130, but $200 is kind of like man, he's really pushing. The Titan class is really pushing it now, you know, particularly for something smaller like this. You know, $200 for this was kind of, I can imagine that feeling, kind of feeling a little like you got a little ripped off, as good as he is. So I would recommend personally, unless you're just super into Armada, if you haven't already done so, I would say wait for it to start dropping and wait and kind of take the gamble for it to hopefully start dropping in price. And maybe once it starts hitting like the 150 range or lower, maybe go ahead and jump on it. Because I feel at that price, it's a lot easier to swallow, but at $200 is really difficult to kind of justify, considering I don't like to do the whole, you know, price per whatever. I don't like to do the whole thing of like pricing the whether it's worth it based on size. But this one kind of, when you look at it and go, it's this, and someone says this is $200, like, wow, that's kind of, particularly with the problems he has. So it's like, once you drop the price about $50, I would say he's a lot easier. It's a lot better, but yeah, yeah. So of course it's harder for me to or not justify, but I guess conceptualize that, because considering how much I paid personally is so much lower than the MSRP. So yeah. He's good, but I don't think he's $200 good, and that's just kind of seems to be what I'm seeing people talk about, which is particularly since you do have to fix a couple things potentially. So yeah, just wait for clearance, I guess. Wait for it to go on discount and then jump on it. And I don't think you'll be disappointed if you wait for it to go on clearance a bit, particularly if you're in Armada. So yeah, that's it for this review. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my social media down in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my Ko-fi and my Patreon, and I shall see you next time with another video review.